Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the DC Universe Classics Wave 9. This would be the purple variant of Wildcat. If you can join with me and trek all the way back for when I did the initial review of the Wildcat figure, I love that figure, and by far Wildcat is still one of my favorite DC Universe Classics figures to date. There's just something about the appeal of him that I really do like. Now, initially when I did the review of the Wave 9 Wildcat, I reviewed the black and I showed this purple one. I didn't end up opening him up. I just ended up reviewing the black one because the black one was really the one I wanted to get opened. But I thought to myself, sooner or later, Spot, you're going to probably want to do a throwback on this guy because he is so gosh darn cute. And by gosh darn cute, I mean totally manly cool. So I thought, you know what? I'm probably ultimately going to open this sooner or later. Let's just do this figure, and that could be somewhat of a throwback to the original Wildcat figure. Of the Collect and Connect pieces for Chemo, you can see that he does come with the larger upper torso head, pretty much big blob of the upper torso piece of Chemo. Down below there's his eyes, I guess Wildcat's creepy little eyes. And on the side, indicating once again the upper torso. On the back, other figures that would have made up DC Universe Classics Wave 7. There's Wildcat, Deadshot, Guardian, Black Adam, Mantis, Black Canary, and Green Arrow. Chemo also serves to be one of my favorite DC Universe Classics Wave. Between the Deadshot, Green Arrow, Black Adam, Wildcat, even like the Black Canary, the only one I really wasn't a big fan of was Guardian. He just seemed a little blah to me. Plus, Chemo also is one of my favorite DC Collect and Connect figures, so it all worked itself out well that I'm looking at it once again. The biography says Ted Grant was a heavyweight boxing champion in the 1930s. He became a fugitive when mobsters framed him for a murder in the ring. Ted donned a black costume and, adopting the name Wildcat, used his combat skills to beat a confession out of the men who framed him. Wildcat decided to remain in costume and focus his attention on mob-related crime. In his civilian identity, Ted Grant has operated a gym and trained Batman, Black Canary, and Catwoman in hand-to-hand combat arts. Statistics: first appearance, Sensation Comics #1, 1942. Real name Ted Grant. Occupation: professional boxer. Gym owner. Adventurer. Base of operations: New York. Special abilities: superior combat skills, particularly in area of boxing, slow aging, heightened stamina, and agility. I'd be curious to know how he has slow aging, but that's besides the point. What I am going to do is take a bit of a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the purple variant of one of Spot's favorite DC Universe Classics figures, Wildcat. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. And once again, the accessory that would have come with Wildcat, the very crucial piece to building Chemo, the upper torso of Chemo. Now, I don't know, I really should go back and watch this video again. Spot really doesn't like watching a lot of his older videos. Some of them are really atrocious. But I'm trying to remember if the original review, if I commented on this or not, but this is the second release of Chemo. The initial release pieces of Chemo actually did not have, if I can best describe this, if you can see how the first shell of Chemo has these bubbles here. There's a bubble there, bubble there, bubble there, bubble there, bubble there. Underneath that, there's actually a tube containing secondary bubbles. Now, the initial release of Chemo, all the original Collect and Connect pieces did not have, at least the torso-wise, did not have that inner component. So if you have Chemo and you realize that you can see your hand behind him, that's because you actually have the original release of Chemo, and they have gone back since and decided to add that inner tube. And actually, when I built Chemo the first time around, luckily both Wildcats had the reissued Chemo piece and not the original. My friend actually has the original Chemo that doesn't have this this upper torso. If he is watching, I had suggested to him that he could have this piece. I could give him said piece if he wanted an updated camo with the inner component. He initially said no, but if he is watching, the offer still stands, my friend. You can have this upper torso piece free of charge from me to you. Moving that aside, though, let's have a look at Wildcat. Now, even though this is not the color choice that I would have gone with, I still love this figure. Love it quite a bit. I don't know what it is. It's just very basic. As you can see, from head to toe, there's really not a lot going on with him. Paint-wise, he is one color, if you exclude really the gloves, the paint on the gloves, as well as the paint right around the cheek or jowl area of his mask, and then of course his face underneath. He's got a really nice face underneath, kind of that broad jaw, but I really like the detail work on the mask. The mask is phenomenal. And he's got these side ears going on there, some really nice detail in the ears. Yeah, I just don't know what it is. There's just something about him. Spot has some weird choices for his favorite DC Universe figures. Some which I'm sure people would scratch their heads with, like the blue costumed Energy Superman. He's one of my favorite as well, and also Aquaman. You know, one of these days I'm going to do a top 10 my favorite DC Universe figures. Maybe do that for you guys. His gloves are a nice paint, some nice texture work on the wraps that go around his wrists. And something else too, I really like the choice of paint they went with his flesh, for his flesh color there. It's not dark, it's not overly tanned. It works really, really well. I don't think Black Canary, I don't think she had a good choice of face paint, but I like the choice that they went with Wildcat here. Now obviously comparisons, we'll need to get right into the comparison end of it. Here's the black costume Wildcat, and still by far I prefer the black costume, although the purple costume still has a nice charm to it. I still really like the black costume much more. Something though I do remember mentioning in the review was for the fact that it was just simply a recolor variant, it would have been nice if they had done something different to the mask. What I think initially suggested was that the first Wildcat, the black costume Wildcat, should have actually had the bottom straps of his, I'm going to see if I can do this here, the bottom straps of his mask actually done up. Now, you know, I suppose if I had some glue and a little bit of patience, I could probably glue those together and have the strap covering over his chin. I would have had this as kind of like, you know, regular Wildcat. Then what I would have done if I had been Mattel is I would have taken the purple variant and I would have kept these straps loose, like what we see here, and maybe put a little blood, or obviously we're not going to go with blood here, but maybe a little bruising or something on his cheek, maybe some bruising on his knuckles here, indicating that this is Wildcat who has kind of been through a bit of a fight. He's battled it out with some bad guys, and this is the end result. So at least then we could have had two different justified reasons for getting Wildcat, because I don't know, ultimately I don't think every collector would have bought both. I just happened to get both because I bought a set on eBay that had both ones included, but I still ultimately would have gone strictly with the black and left it at that, just because for Wildcat I generally think more black as his costume than that of the purple. Still love the purple though, but I love the black a lot more. So there you go. In the way of his articulation, that's an awesome pose, by the way. You ever put a figure in a pose and then you just wish you could kind of just lay him down? If you're not going to display him, lay him down somewhere and hope he's going to stay like that. I know it's not going to happen though. In the way of his articulation, Wildcat's head goes back and forth and up and down. So luckily there's a bit of a clearing there in the mask that his head still goes up and down. He has the upper torso bend. He has a ball and hinge shoulder, which will allow the arms to rotate all the way around, rotation in the bicep, bend in the elbow, rotation in the wrist, rotation in the waist, legs go forward, back, out, rotation in the thigh, bend at the knee, and bend in the foot. Something also you'll notice too is the fact that they've given him clawed feet. You actually can see like little nails in his feet. I like that. Again, that's just a nice added touch. Yeah, just overall, I really like the figure. I really, really like the figure. And I, again, can't remember it pays to actually go back and re-watch your videos so you can kind of gauge what you need to correct or what you want to correct with your reviews. I certainly would have given Wildcat here a rather high rating, probably an 8.5. The purple costumed variant of Wildcat, I would probably have given him about the same too. I'm going to give him also an 8.5. Great figures in both cases. It's really up to you. You guys can let me know maybe down below which one you prefer, whether you prefer the black or the purple version of Wildcat. I think either or is definitely a good choice either way. Surprisingly also, something else I want to note is the fact that I think the variant, if I remember correctly, I think the variant is actually the purple one, but the purple one is more easy to find on eBay than that of the black one. So fancy that. At any rate, though, still one of Spot's favorite figures. Can't recommend them enough if you want to get yourself just a really good DC Universe figure. I think definitely look no further here than Wildcat. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the DC Universe. We were looking at the purple variant of Wildcat. Nice. Thanks for watching as you always do, guys. See you guys next time.